Hello, I'm Ian Rises, and today, I've finally heard the requests. I'm gonna get myself canceled on Twitter.com. So here's just a short, casual video about the games I've been playing recently. Just going over just everything I've played this summer. First off, actually, before I got the Switch 2, I started replaying Sonic Generations on Switch, and the game holds up really well, actually. Still haven't finished it months later, but it holds up surprisingly well, and I was surprised to find out the Switch port has infinite lives, as standard, as it should. I think live systems are stupid and outdated. The peak of gaming. Yeah, I also played Cat Girl Without Salad. The peak of gaming, truly. I used a infinite health cheat just so I could enjoy the story without having to play the game. Because I'm really bad at shmups, I think this genre is, I don't know. I'm really bad at this type of game, and I just wanted to enjoy the story. So I used a infinite health code. Yeah, and played the game, and just let me play my games how I want. And I actually was looking into this game, and I saw the reviews were mostly complaining about how you would just die and then have to hear the dialogue for that level over and over and over again. And since I was using a infinite lives cheat, I didn't have to do that, so nice. Anyway, when I committed sins and got the Switch 2, first thing I did was play through Mario Kart World, as one does, and I beat it within the first week, I think. I did the 50cc Grand Prix, because the CPUs in this game were absolutely brutal at launch, though I've heard they toned them down significantly since. Still a really fun game, though. I actually really like it, and the free roam mode is really fun. You can basically trick off like any surface in this game. I'm gonna close this before I end up just playing Mario Kart World. Nearly 2 or 3 months later, at the time of this filming, I still haven't tried Knockout Tour, but I've heard it's really good. Now, the part that I would probably get harassed if I don't mention, the price. I 100% agree. $80 is too much for this game. I bought the console bundle, so I did not pay $80. I paid $50. I am not going to get into this as an argument, as that is not the scope of this video, and frankly, I don't want to argue with people on the internet about whether Nintendo games are worth the money or not, but I personally agree $80 is too much for any video game at MSRP, and in Europe where it is $90, yeah, that's ridiculous. The Mario Kart World bundle included a digital copy of the game, which a couple years ago I would have not been happy with, but honestly for the Switch 2 I went digital. It's not worth collecting for this one. Game key cards kinda ruined it. And honestly, even as a longtime physical collector, I also like modding my consoles and playing my games as if they were digital copies, having dumped them. So I don't really consider it much of a deal having moved to digital on Switch 2. Fuck game keycards. They're the worst of all worlds. Not worth it. I'm really glad they are apparently selling really poorly, and the legitimate physical copies are selling really well. Apparently Cyberpunk, like 75% of the copies sold on Switch 2 were the physical copies, which is just like, I'm buying digital personally, but like, good. I also played the Klonoa remake. It is a really good game. The Fantasy Reverie collection seems good enough. I haven't played really much of the original Wii version, and I haven't gotten around to Klonoa 2 yet. I finished this game like a couple months ago, and I still need to play Klonoa 2. I really liked Klonoa 1. It's a really good game. There's some frustrating level design near the end, but it's a really good game, and I'm pretty excited to play Klonoa 2. I don't really have a visual for this one because I didn't want to go get it, but I played Mario Kart 64 on my flash cart, on my N64. I could have gotten the flash cart, but I didn't feel like doing that, so Zuzu Pet. And yeah, Mario Kart 64 is a good game, surprise, surprise. I do feel like it has aged a little poorly. It is a good game. I still think it's a very good game. It's just very clearly an old game, you know? Like, there's some frustrating design in the tracks. The CPUs are bullshit. But that's like playing single player, right? I played it single player. I'd imagine like multiplayer with friends would just be absolute peak. Even if it's not absolute peak and like basically later games are better. I don't care. Mario Kart 64 is a good game, okay? I don't really have a visual for this one either because I didn't want to go get the Steam Deck, but Dreams of Aether is probably the best WarioWare-like I've ever played. I also played like 20 minutes of this for a video that I haven't filmed yet, which might be the worst WarioWare-like I've ever played. I'm not. This is a bad game. Are you really surprised iCarly for the Wii is a bad game? No one is surprised by that. It's downloading a patch and I refuse to wait for it, but I also played through all 4 chapters that are currently available of Deltarune. I absolutely loved the first 2 when they were originally released, and I wanted to replay them when the new ones came out. And yeah, they absolutely hold up, and I think Chapter 3 is the weakest thus far, and Chapter 4 is probably the strongest. Oh, cool. Anyway, yeah. I'm not gonna, like, spoil the story or anything, but it's a wild ride, and I highly recommend this game, especially if you're a fan of Undertale, especially if you liked the first 2 chapters. It's worth the money. And yeah, it's a good game. This is a little out of order, but since we're talking Toby Fox, how about the game that inspired him to make Undertale? Off. I have not finished this one yet. I am on Zone 2 currently, I think. And it's already a wild ride, and I haven't even gotten to the big reveal yet. I'm not going to say what the big reveal is, but I've seen some spoilers. It's... oh boy, it's something. Anyway, I really like this game, and I'm pretty excited to finish it. I probably shouldn't make a beat off joke, but let's move on. I started New Towns on both Animal Crossing New Leaf and Animal Crossing New Horizons. Didn't delete my old save on either of them. Different console for New Horizons. My Switch Lite with a stupid sparkle sticker on the back. I'll post the link on Etsy to where I got it if it's still available. And different 3DS for New Leaf. And the conclusion is New Leaf holds up incredibly well, and New Horizons kind of doesn't. You know how in the original Animal Crossing games, like the original 3 games, you'd have like a half an hour of chores that you would have to do for Tom Nook before the game would like let you actually play the game. And it was like the tutorial, right? And it was like a half hour of basically just like delivering things for Tom Nook. What if that took a month? I don't like New Horizons very much. I think once it actually lets you play the fucking game, it's good. But even then, having to go back to your house to craft another net because your net broke after you caught a beetle is incredibly annoying and kind of bad game design. You don't have to do that in New Leaf. And like New Leaf, like the writing would be better in New Horizons if there was more of it. Like everyone complains about how like, oh, the Animal Crossing villagers are too nice. And that applies to New Leaf as well. But it's not as big a deal in New Leaf because they actually have more than like 3 things to say. Where in New Horizons, there was one time I was playing New Horizons on like one of my old towns, and basically I walked up to a villager, talked to him, and he said something. Then I walked up to another villager of the same personality type, and he said the exact same fucking line. Like, it's not that the villagers are too nice, it's they have like 5 lines that they rotate between, and that's all their dialogue. And like occasionally it swaps out a keyword with a different one. Like, no, that's not how you do it. And New Leaf did not do that, not anywhere near as bad. I also got the digital copy of Super Mario Odyssey. Here's the physical copy. I got it on sale, intending to play it on, you know, my Switch 2. Like, you know, portably digital copy, you know. And I ended up, since I'm, you know, showing it on the Switch Lite, I ended up mostly playing it on the Switch Lite. Just because the Switch Lite is more portable. Like, it actually fits in my pocket. Like this just slips into my pocket. This thing needs, like, a bag. And frankly, so does, like, the regular Switch 1 as well. Where the Switch Lite, I can just put it in my pocket, it's fine. So, oh well, at least the saves between the two are synced. So playing on the TV is improved, at least. Honestly, I'm getting tired of just pulling up game title screens and then closing them, so I'm just gonna show off this Zuzu pet. Donkey Kong Bonanza is genuinely a really good game so far. I like it a lot. It's clearly by the Odyssey team, and I don't know which I think is the better game, but I'm leaning towards Donkey Kong Bonanza, honestly. They're very different games, definitely, but they're cut from the same cloth, and if you liked Odyssey, you're gonna love this. Tomodachi Life is one of my favorite games of all time, and I was playing it like a month ago, and it holds up great. It's one of those games where it's kind of lacking in content, but it goes on forever, right? So you can play it for like 2 weeks, and then turn it off. And then 6 months later, play it for 2 weeks, and then turn it off. And for that, I think it's really good. It is genuinely one of my favorite games of all time. And I'm really excited for the new one. Genuinely. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully they don't pull an Animal Crossing New Horizons on us. But hopefully it's good. I also finally fixed a parts DS Lite that I've had sitting around for like 4 years. And its maiden voyage was Kung Zoo for the DS. Yeah. I actually liked that game a lot as a kid, and I have a lot of nostalgia for it. It was the first video game that I owned myself, and honestly, I don't want to say it holds up, because it's kind of a bad game, but I have a lot of nostalgia for it, and I can enjoy it as a bad licensed game. It's like an hour long, the gameplay is fine. I can enjoy it as a thing. You know, like, not every game has to be a 10 out of 10, you know? I just kind of have a soft spot for, like, that era of bad licensed games, you know? Speaking of bad games, I started a save on Pokemon Scarlet on my Switch 2. I actually like that game as well. I was able to get it to run at a pretty solid 30 FPS on my Switch 1 when it came out, using like some pretty intense overclocking shenanigans. So it's pretty insane seeing it run at 60 FPS on official, completely stocked Nintendo hardware, and like them actually like making that a selling point. That's pretty cool, even if the game still looks like a Wii game. It looks like a Wii game running in an emulator now, but it looks like a Wii game. And it's still cool. Like, it's still an objectively bad game, but it's an objectively bad game that I enjoy, and that's fine. I also finished replaying Super Mario 3D Land like an hour before I filmed this, actually. And I only bothered playing like the main 8 worlds, and I think that game holds up pretty well. I do like it a lot. It's definitely the new Super Mario Bros. Series in 3D, but the new Soup series isn't all bad, right? Like, the problem with the new Soup series isn't that it's new Soup. The problem is that the last 2 games in the series were actively bad games. It's not that the new Super Mario Bros. Series is bad. The one on the DS is really, really good. The problem is that New Super Mario Bros. U is a bad game. And that doesn't apply to Super Mario 3D Land. Super Mario 3D World is also a really good game. And that one is a little less New Super Mario Bros.-y, but, you know, I like 3D Land as well. And I guess that wraps things up. I didn't really write an ending to this video in the script. I couldn't really think of a way to end it, so, I don't know. Zuzu Pet, I guess.